Yeah, okay. This payable, Pijima. Dala damara jibe jai no bara jibe ge darwa dam tam chin chen be wa ju ju bara jiba tam ji ye jibe ma nam ka dan nyam be sem chen tam ji Deva Tan Den Dumar Tan Che Nyoze Lana Me Bara Yang Da Bara Zo Be Chang Chu Ren Bo Pe To Ba Cha
All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfect, complete enlightenment.
Te Che De Sang Ma Che Che Hua Tu Long Ma Ye Sang Ge Va La Gua Ma Xie Hua Tu Long Ma Ye Sang Ge Va La Gua A Tu Te Ren He Song De Nye Ma Song Zam jie va te lang ma yi son ge wa la go.
For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From Monday until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
San jie chu dang so jie cho na chang chu pa tu da ni jia su che da ti jin so jin de so na ti do la ben jie san jie ru ba xiu.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Awakening, and I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Ma nam ka dan nyam be sem chen tam che de wa dan man de ve je dan den ba cho je de ma man de ma ge je dan je wa cho je
And
de ma de be de wa dan Hora shu je nya de qiao dang ni da hong zhe wei dang niao la le bo la shu ye ji.
may all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, Have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Shante Vadan Chujun Yavadan Jesu Yinam Gushin Sorwa Ye Geva Junze Dage Jezaba Atan Jie Luo Changzhe Jianmo.
Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, requesting, and praying, I dedicate it for the complete awakening of all beings.
Namo Nasi Nam Da La Ma La Nasi Xie Xian Sun Qiu Ban Bu Kan Sun Yong Zhu Re De Sur Wan De An Kuru Wa Zhong Zhou Si Qin Jie Lo Jie Jin Nur Gu Zhou Ke Jian Ma Sama Jun Mi Jar Be To Qian Be Ye Xie Ma Tong De Se Be Dan Yi Ga Zhi Jian Do Wa Jun Zi Ren Bo Qi Da Xin Ni Ji Wan Ne Su Wan De Ju Ni Ji Ma Tu Lo Xian Do Ne Jie Mi Nam Dan De Lon De Chu Gu Do Ba Ra Xin Jie Lo.
Namo, to the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence, I offer all appearance and existence arisen from the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord, with five omniscient wisdoms, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind, primordially pure and unborn, as the unfathomable Dharmakaya.
English, great Majadara, Delopa, Naro.
Great Vajrayogini Drupchö, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Bhagmo Drupa, and Lord Gakungpa. I pray to all the Kagyu Lamas. From his guru, King Serlingpa, he received the medicine of bodhicitta and brought benefit to all sentient beings. I pray to glorious Satisha. From now until I attain enlightenment, may I also practice the three precious lineages, and through this may I perfect sublime bodhicitta and bring benefit to others with my bodhicitta. In all my lives may I never be separated from the perfect Guru. May I enjoy the glory of the Dharma, perfect the qualities of the bhumis and paths, and quickly attain the state of Vajradhara.
Next one.
Next one.
That's an Vajrayogini tracks English. Page 2, right?
In a single instant, I vividly transform into the enlightened body of exalted Vajrayogini.
Om Kandaro Om Sabhava Shuddha Sarvada Sabhava Shuddha.
From within the state of emptiness, a top wind fire and a hearth of skulls is a skull cup bearing qualities, red inside with white exterior. Therein from Mubira, Shu and Ma arise the five ambrosial nectars from Nagokuha and Da appear. Five meats which they mark and the wind stirs, fanning the flames which intensify, causing the contents to melt and boil. From the three syllables light rays stream, drawing in divine wisdom nectar. Through this Samaya and wisdom merge, and the nectar becomes a vasi.
Om
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 Om Om
Svabhava
Swabhava
Shuddha
Sa
Svabhava Shuddha
From within the state of emptiness appears the skulls with a hung inside. From that manifest water to drink, bathing powder, flowers, and incense, glowing light, fragrant perfumes and food. Symbols and the like they all amass as Samanta Bhadra's offering clouds, filling up the threefold universe. Vajrayogini and the hosts of gathered Dakinis express delight. The energy of the offering clouds is beyond the scope of intellect.
Om Anna Agam Amo Om Bandara Badi Amo Om Bandara Bhuje Amo Om Bandara Devam Amo Om Bandara Aloge Amo Ben Zara Om Chandra Rohe Om Sabhava Shuddha Sarvada Bhava Shuddha
From within the state of emptiness, a top wind fire and a hearth of skulls is a skull cup bearing qualities, red inside with white exterior. Therein from Mubira, Shu and Ma arise the five ambrosial nectars From Nagokuha and Da appear 5 meats which they mark, and the wind stirs, fanning the flames which intensify, causing the contents to melt and boil. From the 3 syllables light rays stream, drawing in divine wisdom nectar. Through this Samaya and wisdom merge, and the nectar becomes a vasi. Sarva Siddhi
Sarvaya Jaraja Sabda Veda Beshaza Vamata Sanaya Rajendra Mama Sarva Siddhi Ayare Zada Vervacha Zekata Amma Dega Mama Sarva Gada Sisagan Beshada Sahaya Amendra Sarvaya Chara Sabra Veda Deshaza Vamada Avamaranda Kandaki Yadaya Lindu Samaya Rachand Mama Sarva Siddhi Me Varayenzaya Yaten Ban Yaten Kandam Zata Bervata Zegarata Madegaramata Mama Sarva Gardaya Sisakam Vishudaya Gaya Amendu Bibi Oha
Om spirits guarding the directions and local protectors, gods and nagas, spirits bringing harm and Rakshasas, phantoms and those beings who feed on flesh, hungry ghosts and crazy making ones, forces who inflict forgetfulness, and swarms of mamos and akinis. Take this torma as a proper gift and assist us yogins in our aim to accomplish great awakening, pacify all adverse conditions, along with danger and injury. Help us to successfully fulfill the four enlightened activities.
Om Sumbane Sumbane Hum Hum Pi Om Drehana Girana Hum Hum Pi Om Grehana Baya Drehana Baya Hum Pi
From the four mantras, night rays stream forth, spreading to the 10 directions, and in a single instant manifest as a Vajra ground fence, tent and net, Vajra canopy and Vajra fire, without any spaces in between, in the main and intermediate directions appear 8 deities.
Om Medene Banzara Bhava Banzara Bhada Om Banzara Jagara Om Bam Om Banzara Banzara Om Bam Om Banzara Bedana Om Bam Om Banzara Jala Jala Jam Sam Jam Om Banzara Jala Analarka Om Om. With the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests. With the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests. With the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests. Through wisdom with love and compassion,
for the sake of sentient one's welfare, in the presence of the Buddhas here, I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood through wisdom with love and compassion, for the sake of sentient one's welfare, in the presence of the Buddhas here, I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood through wisdom with love and compassion, for the sake of sentient one's welfare, in the presence of the Buddhas here, I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood. From the very beginning, my own body, speech, and mind have always been the naturally pure true essence of Vajrayogini herself. Likewise, the five aggregates are none other than the five pure Buddha families, and the five elements purified are the five mothers, such as Drupchö, the fully pure spheres of perception are male and female bodhisattvas, the aggregates, elements, and the perception spheres are pure from the start.
Om Drupchö da Parishuddha Sarva Dhamma Drupchö da Parishuddha.
Above my crown sits Vajrasattva, on a moon cushion and lotus seat, his complexion like the autumn moon, draped in silks and strewn with precious jewels, crossed his hands, hold a Vajra and bell, and at his heart on a moon is hung from the 100-syllable mantra. Light rays stream out to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 10 directions, gathering the light of their compassion and absorbing back bright nectar flows from the mantra, entering my crown, cleansing all the defilements and veils. Thus recite the 100 syllables.
Om Yere Banza Heruga Samaya Manu Balaya Banza Heruga Adino Bala Dechare Dome Baba Sudo Kayo Me Baba Sonurato Me Baba Subhakayo me baba sarva siddhi me baba sarva karma siddha me Jai Guru ha 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 me bara sa sarva karma su sa me se dang ye yang guru hum ha 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 Di chan zhe do me ba wa su do ka yo me ba a nu la do me ba wa su do ka yo me ba wa sa
From Vajrasattva's own lips he says, your defilements and obscurations have been purified, and he becomes white light, which then dissolves into me. My own nature vividly appears as exalted Vajrayogini. At my heart from the seed syllable emerge light rays radiating out, summoning Vajrayogini and all the Kagyu-lamas and Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all their retinue, come gather before me in the sky. Lama with form like a precious jewel, through your kindness arises great bliss. In a single instant you shine forth. Vajra holder, at your feet I bow. Great heroic splendorous Heruka, utterly pure almighty Vajra, and to you Vajra Varahi of all yearning great passions I bow down. Once again from the seed syllable at my heart goddesses issue forth, offering gifts to the mandala.
Om Sarvada Gata Sarvare Vare Argam Badi Dasova. Om Sarvada Gata Sarvare Vare Badi Dasova. Om Sarvada sabare Ruske barde jasoa Wa sarva da gada Duva barde jasoa Sarva da gada sabare wa Aloge barde jasoa Om sarva Nada sabare varengende barde jasoa Om sarva Nada sabare varengende barde jasoa Om sarva sabare O benze armenda bunza menga samundra savarane samaye Om sarva dadanga anurangana bendra subhava To the three jewels I go for refuge and confess each negativity along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awaken mind, and by way of this arousal of sublime awakened mind I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. To the three jewels I go for refuge and confess each negativity along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awakened mind, and by way of this
this arousal of sublime awakened mind. I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. Through the three jewels I go for refuge, and confess each negativity, along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings, and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awakened mind, and by way of this arousal of sublime awakened mind, I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. From the palace of unions, great bliss free of constructs, you bliss gone one Vajradhara, I deeply pray. From the pure palace of non-duality's expanse, to you the son of all victors, Tilopa, I pray. From the palace of rainbow-like vivid emptiness, to you, supreme scholar Naropa, I deeply pray. From the pure palace of my form as a deity, to you, the true gurus of the union transmission, and to you all root and lineage lamas I pray. Please bless me to realize mind as the Dharmakaya, from the palace that quells misfortune and obstacles. To you the oceans of Dharma protectors I pray. Pacify in all directions negativity and hindrances, granting common and supreme cities. The visualized field of accumulation dissolves into me. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing equalizing beings. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing beings. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing beings.
Om Svabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Svabhava Shuddha. Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Vajra Shuddha. Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Yoga Shuddha.
Through reciting these mantras, all phenomena subsumed within, subject, objects, dualistic grasping, become transformed into emptiness. By reciting Hong Hong from within that state, comes a Vajra ground, instant and canopy, webs of arrows, and outside the scope of that, wisdom flames blaze, and in this protective sphere, from Ea rises a Dharmodaya with its root pointing downward and a base on top. Outside it is blue and inside it is red. In the center of its vast expansive base, from the letter palm a lotus manifests of multiple colors, and from A appears a full moon, and from Ram manifests a sun. Above flattened Bamchin appears my own mind, as a red bomb letter emanating light. From that appears a Vajra-handled curved knife, with a bomb at its hub streaming forth with light, sending out offerings to the exalted ones, and cleansing defilements for all sentient beings, placing them in the state of the Vajra Queen. The light gathers back, and I fully transform, like silk suddenly hoisted into the sky, becoming the form of Vajrayogini, red in color, clear yet empty. I'm ablaze with the splendor of 100,000 suns. My main face of passion and wrath has 3 eyes, bearing fangs, and on my right above my ear is a grunting sow face, and I am adorned with a 5 gold crown, while half my hair is loose. I wear a necklace of 50 severed heads, 5 bone ornaments, and in my right hand is a curved knife, and in my left I am holding a skull cup filled with blood, while a trident rests in the crook of my arm, pointing toward the sky, reveling in blood with a youth of 16 years. My breasts are plump and my right leg is bent up, with the left extended in gestures of dance, gaining victory in space over the 3 realms. I dwell at the center of masses of fire that have come blazing forth from my own body. At my navel from Omembam is red Varahi. At my heart from Hang and Yom is a blue Yamini. At my throat from Rim and Mom is a white Mohini. At my forehead from Rim yellow Samchalini. And at the crown with Hong a green Samtrasini. On my limbs from Pepet are the smoky Chandikas. All have one face, 2 hands, and a curved knife in the right. In their left a blood skull cup, and they wear crowns of skulls, garlands of fresh heads, and they are marked with the 5 seals. With 3 eyes their hair flows free, with tridents on their arms, right legs bent and left outstretched as they abide in dance. In my secret place as I am Vajrayogini is a red Dharmodaya with 3 in the center, streaming light in 10 directions to all the victors, and their hosts inviting all the Vajrayogini.
Om benza vara he sabare vare argan badin bube dube alurge gende nevede shabada.
From all of their bodies, limitless forms emanate, dissolving into my crown, and this then generates energy and power in my body. Then from there, speech streams readily, kali absorbed into my throat, generating energy and power in my speech. From their hearts a stream of bodhicitta then descends, entering my heart, and bliss emptiness arises. Yogini then dissolves into me, and we're nandu.
Zahom Bhavo Yoga Shuddha Sarvada Yoga Shuddha.
Again from the seed syllable at my heart light rays stream out, invoking the deities of the five Buddha families who grant empowerment.
Om Benze Gula Sabare Vare Argan Baden Bube Dube Alogen Gende Nevede Shabbat. Om Sarvada Thangate Ambiken Zamduma.
By our having supplicated thus, the empowerment deities say, just as when the Tuscan ones are born, the ablution rite is requested. With this pure divine water we too in the same way shall also wash you.
Om Sarvada Thangata Ambiken Gada Samaya Ye
Thus empowerment is now bestowed. My body is filled, and defilements are purified. The excess water overflows at my crown, becoming the crown ornament of Akshobhya. Then the empowerment deities dissolve and are absorbed into me. I now offer clouds of offerings manifested by the goddesses, arisen from my heart's syllable.
Om Sarvada Thangata Vajrayogini Sabare Vare Argan Baden Zasova. Om Sarvada Thangata Banzavarahe Sabare Vare Baden Baden Zasova. Om Sarvada Thangata Banzavarahe Sabare Vare sa so Om Sarva Da Tha Ga Tha Ban Sa Va Ra He Sa Va Re Va Re A Lo Ge Ba De Sa So Om Sarva Da Tha Ga Tha Ban Sa Va Ra He Sa Va Re Va Re Gen De Ba De Sa So Om Sarva Da Tha Ga Tha Ban Sa Va Ra He Sa Va Re Va Re Ne Re De Va De Sa So Om Sarva Da Tha Ga Tha Ban Sa Va Ra He Sa Va Re Va Re Sha Om Ben Zara Ben Ne Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Wan Shi Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Me Dang Ge Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Mu Ran Ze Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Se Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara La Se Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Gen De Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Ne De Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Bu Ve Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Du Ve Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara De Ve Hong Hong Pi Om Ben Zara Gen De Hong Hong Pi Om Ru Ban Ban Zara Hong Hong Pi Om Ban Zara Hong Hong Pi Om Sa Ba Shin Ban Zara Hong Hong Pi Om Dharma Da Du Ban Zara Hong Pi
To the mouth of my kind Guru, essence of all the Buddhas of the 3 times and 10 directions, Om Ahom. To the mouth of sovereign Vajradhara, Om Ahom. To the mouth of exalted Vajrayogini, Om Ahom. To the mouth of great Tida Tiloshezam, Om Ahom. To the mouth of learned Master Naropa, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Lojin Chogi Lodro, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Mila Dorje Gelsen, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Dabo Dawo Shono, Om Ahom. To the mouth of Bliss Gone Pagmo Drupa, Om Ahom. To the mouth of the Drake Lord Kumba, Om Ahom. To the mouths of root and lineage, Om. To the mouths of Vajrayogini, Vajrayogini, and all the Yidaush deities of Yidams of all classes of Tantra. Om. To the mouths of the forearm, glorious wisdom protector, and all the oceans of Samaya bound Dharma Pala Soma. Through the offerings of gazing and smiling, holding hands, embracing and uniting as one, empowerment is bestowed. May we now realize the intended meaning of the tantras.
Om Sarva Tathagata Anuragana Vajraswa Vayemago.
By meditating upon the state devoid of identity, meditation on the essence of the deity is achieved. This then fulfills a great offering and simultaneously achieves the realization of all the Buddhas. Om homage to you, Bhagavati Vajravarahi, Arya, Mother of the three worlds, by others you're unassailed. Great majesty of awareness, for all ghosts you incite fear. Casting down in all directions, you are the great Vajra Queen, undefeated lady of the Vajra seat. You can't be beat. Your powerful eyes roam about, even poison you dry up. Fearsome, terrifying goddess, the lady who shows her fangs. You shock, slay, and fully cleave, and over them you reign supreme. Fully triumphant one, you stun, paralyze, and stupefy. Homage to you, Varahi, great yogini, queen of desire. Clearly I appear in the form of Vajrayogini at my navel, in a fire-red Dharmodaya ring is a red lotus, and at its hub a sun mandala with a red bomb, encircled by the mantra garland, which rotates to the left while its seat and seed syllable remain unmoved, as it circles with great force and speed. Light rays stream out, making offerings to the noble ones, and purify the obscurations of wandering beings. The light gathers back and then dissolves into the mantra garland, causing the bliss emptiness to bliss. Om, Om, Om.
sarvam buddham jagini banzavam nani banzam berozani sarvam buddham jagini Vajrayogini Banjam Berozani sarvam buddham jagini banjavam nani banjam berozani sarvam buddham jagini banjavam nani banjam berozani sarvam buddham jagini banjam nani banjam berozani sarvam buddham jagini banjavam nani banjam berozani sarvam buddham jagini banjavam nani banjam berozani sarvam buddham jagini banjam Sarvam Buddha Banzavanane Sarvam Buddha Sarvam Buddha Sarvam Drakine Benzavanane Sarvam Sarvam Buddham Drakine Nazambanane Sarvam Buddha Dakine Vajravanane Vajraverodzane Om 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 Pe 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 Zoha Om 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 Sarvam Buddha Dakine Vajravanane Sarvam Buddha Dakine Vajravanane Zoha Sarvam 카츠한테 마당가 지 슬로 거와.
Shodan gare.
쇼당 당에서다. 쇼당 대신사 쇼당 지리.
So picking up where we left off yesterday, it was around page 8.
되네. 나들이 말로도 텐도 와. 다 풍감 진치 가래 다 쉬지 못 쉬었어. 좀 땜버 치는 거 저기 가. 나도 제 자스나 양 쉬지 못 쉬어.
I think yes. Oh.
없어요. 와. 되네. 자. 도네 라지 랑케 룽아 이솜네스 라지 남다 도르제네 조르니 슬라도. 다 도네 도만 다다레스 라지 랑케 루 다 nga 이 다 전토 삼아 추크 라지 남바 타데 라지 남바 타데 게 도제네 좀마 이레스 대풍아 자와 타바 자와르가 스풍보가 타바 자와르가 대 소지 풍보 남바 나지 셀라그로 하는 중이래 survey 풍보선 도르제 니마서 다른 chen 중요해.
So dorje
도르제 니마 라고라 되나 다 chen 중요해. chen 중요해.
region.
survey 풍보. 도시에 배마 풍보 배마 가지 뭐 사람 돈이. 도시에 지 풍보 배마 가지 뭐 세 양대 다 나한테
Tes kali dang sabos
돈은 뭐도 좀 짠,
Something, what's going on? Why is there like an echo and it's kind of there's feedback? Is there something?
Chishinangani tani boyim bagi jinsin.
没事，得看这个。现在我大爷的，哎呀，现在他的啥事的？现在他的
So yang ter pungpo nga tani de zu number nangse
手机碰过，number那子，手机碰过都是你妈的当，我都是你妈现在都是你妈3人前就变差不多。我对些碰过别嘛卡着网球是。
pema gargi wangcho.
对，咱弄完他也的，养得多着呢。他那对这碰过，都是接不了不的，他同学吃饭的。
Dorje gyabo doing on dubo.
那些碰过，他那把弄完他也那没，可得，那些碰过得了吧？所以碰过都是你，对些碰过，对些碰过，那些碰过。 的话，那都是什么的？真的都是。
Dorje zamba.
他自己他从不的来上了。
So here we have the blessing, the self-blessing, the blessing of the aggregates, first body, speech, and mind. So also all of the body, the speech, and all of the concepts or discursive thoughts of the mind are actually primordially pure. They actually have always been the true essence of Vajrayogini herself. Likewise, the 5 aggregates are none other than the 5 Buddha families. So here we have the aggregate of form, which is Vairochana, the aggregate of feeling or sensation, which is Dorje Nyima or Ratna Sambhava, the aggregate of perception, which is Pema Garwang and Amitabha. These sort of correspond with each other, Amitabha. And the aggregate of mental formation, which is Dorje Gyalpo, or also Amoga City, and the aggregate of consciousness, which is Vajrasattva.
等等，他这里嘛送的他那多，看嘛他呗，看嘛他把冬季嘛所用，冬季嘛什么的，就当啥看着是吧？啥看嘛都上节节嘛已经是那上节节嘛这里他，上节节嘛是吧？他这里就当那不晓得，但那是哪老说手机嘛拿着个，手机嘛他全看了，全看他妈妈给了吧？我全看他妈妈给去的，我这里当估计嘛是。 국지 마세다 때 메카베 때 고감 몰라고라 카시다 잡지 마 라쇼사리 때다 때다티 카레 농카로 농감 답세 줄만람도
So dampo tenda chui kam mamaki
담보 사감이 소상지
oh sai kam kare
사감
karchama
동지마 다 소.
oh right.
그래서 소지마 스타 중간에 마마가 전에 매칸데 국지마스开始找你
Kukarmo dung rebe Kukarmo sore
나 사실 사실 그런 거 아무래
so
네 라, 맞아 매칸
Kukarmo
이제 또 토마스 왔다 되게 말라 신비하다 와
Kukarmo sumyo
다리 라래 양자제 라 보통 중국
네네네
他사요 맞아 다 진바 난 매칸테 국지 말아 그래서
Kukchima
제 고가 뭐래서 사람들이 만들어도 와다 양자제 라 그거가 전에 대단 롱 칸테 가시 때 남도 잡지 마도 잡지 마테 다 탐색 좀 마치 탐색 좀 마치 되는 바다 내 남편 감정 됐다. 도저히 인식 마스. 어때 랍쇼래다. 어때 감가 아베스다. 감가 타베 용마스.
Da, So then we have also the five elements. So the pure essence of the five elements, which are the five female Buddhas or the five mothers. So first, the element of earth is what is referred to here, Tungchema. So this is the first of the element of earth. The element of water is Mamaki. The element of fire is. Okay, so Tungchema is actually. Sanjay Chima. So if so these are all, like, I'm sure there are Sanskrit words for all of these, and some of them I know, but a lot of them I don't. So these are all the Tibetan names. And so there are the five female Buddhas that actually correspond with the five Buddha families, which are commonly known as the five female Buddhas. And so what he's saying, and so it's the same also actually with the five aggregates, he gave these two names for each one. Because so in the Chakrasambhara and Vajravarahi tantras, they are given different names, but they're referring to the same, the common families, the Buddhas of the Buddha families, and the female Buddhas of the Buddha family. So like ordinarily, for instance, they're known as Sanjay Chimma, Mamaki, Kukarmo, but here they have these alternate names. So that's why he was saying, for instance, Kukar, like fire, is Gurchima, but also Kukarma is the ordinary name for the female Buddha. And then wind is Chakchema, which corresponds with Damsik Droma or Samayatara, that's we can know in Sanskrit, which is the element of wind. And then the element of space is Dorje Yingchukma, the Shimbagi Mingyo Marwa. So, and that's the normal space. Pema and which is ordinarily known as Dorje Yingchukma.
되네 자바랭아 요마도 주고랑이 샤고 그래서 지탄 도는 내도를 사태인도 가서 다다제 가도 마레바 되네 된 통쇼 말와 마레바 되게 레드 모습도 제압송도 선 통도 맞다 냠내 지지 그 봉감성 마사도 한번들 샤고야 아와들이 이런 그래스 어다 들이 전치 남다 선바 세메 소스라도 전치 대다들이 마이크 전치 사진인 거지 나베 진치데 다다 청나도 리시 나와 요라 남초 어때 나 진치데 남케님 뭐지 나 대요라 제를 대 아래 루이지 진치 드바나 바르시치 다다 제 요라 제들라 제란 세치 어때네 다다디 이지 진치 대군도 선보지 어 진치 선바 초요라 was 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 was
when we have fully purified subject-object dualistic fixation, then one recognizes this innate purity, the way in which the 5 aggregates are the 5 pure Buddha families, and the 5 elements are the 5 mothers or 5 female Buddhas. But this is only when there is the ability to recognize that non-duality free from subject-object grasping. And so, like, once ignorance or delusion has been cleared away. So then the spheres of perception are there's the or the ayatanas, the spheres of perceptions, which include both the sense sources themselves and then the objects of the senses. So the sense sources are the male bodhisattvas. So the eyes are Sai Ningbo or Siddhigarbha. And the ears are Vajrapani. The nose is Namge Ningbo. What's that? Ashaka Garba. Yeah, I always have a hard time with these. Yeah, Akasha Garba. And then the body is Dripanamsal. Dripanamsal is that I think Sarva Nirvana Vishkambin. Yeah. And then the tongue is Chenrezig, and the mind is Samantabhadra. And so then also the sense objects, so form and sound, sensation, taste, and so forth, they are also the Vajradakinis. So form is like the form Vajradakini, sound Vajradakini, taste Vajradakini, smell Vajradakini, and sensation Vajradakini, and like consciousness or cognizing Vajradakini. So this is what Vajra is referring to, is the destruction of or the annihilation of affliction. So for instance, often in other tantras, we see reference to Vajra desire, Vajra anger, Vajra ignorance, and so forth. And so that's what that's actually referring to is, the Vajra is the destruction or the overcoming of the transformation of the afflictive emotion.
드네 다다디 제로와다 요마디 노다 데 마보샤 드로다 티소시라 요마마 나데 옴트라치다 바르시 슈다 센도와 다 제상 가장 옴스바바 된다고 그래서 랑이케 옴나타가 고르와 트라치다 세데 랑이치 바르슈다디 용스타바 시타 제상 지바리 다르마틴 지바와 트라데스 양데 랑이타바 용스 랑이타바가고 추어담지 용스다 브라인 타방하고 가장 지관하래. 그래서 엄수바바시도 나와디 정다 지관하래.
So we have then the mantra here, Om Chatita Parishuddha Sarva Dharma Chatita Parishuddho Ham. And actually he said this is really pretty much exactly the same as the Swabhava mantra. So it is the same thing. It's like establishing the empty purity, the empty nature. And it is pretty much the same thing in meaning. Like, all phenomena are naturally, intrinsically, completely pure. And I am also that completely pure true nature.
다들이 도르산 금대진도와 도르산 금대에 당가랑서 지워라 다 도르선 바트 곰로와 도르는 조금 난데 효사시 도르는 조이나 다 지당데 저바 소마타데 시안 사마리 다들이 마 도르산 금대 곰 서디 저바 소마타스문다 드린다 좀 느껴서 필요 드네 다 랑도제 랑단 간 지모르라 다티데 도제 선바스 공네 티 도제 홍텔레 파와젠 초네 데 초수 상제 창쇼 선바 투규 창쇼 선크 창쇼 선바 탐지 구송토 지나 탐지 드신 넘바 차신 우합네 소建 창 이 홍다 딩아트는 템네 엘리마도 지진화네 대랑 상호 쇼네 류탐지 파 추두바나 이제 디랩 삼지 바다 송사 주메 소 삼지 세 토크 서컨동 소크 원동 도베 원동 들이 많나 봐 송네 어제 다 송상 어제 동 탐지 한 소차 나봐 가지 디파 한잔 동 요라 디파 한잔 동 드운 동 다지 냐 동 비완 동 요라 我这里的生产站的嘛，这里通通送来，这里当然在这块上嘛，他送的，我这里上到当过去的是，我等上上的这里去的这地点他从大这里用的是还是上上我是的，上上没那么重，没那么在南看不一样，中的出去的人中的，我他这里用的把地点特别大，中的是的吧？那这是简直是的，他们不是那个就是那这个生意的嘛了。
So then we have Vajrasattva. So we're visualizing above our crown, Vajrasattva, seated on a moon cushion and lotus seat, with all of the ornaments and holding a Vajra and bell, in this case, crossed at his heart. And then in his heart center, on a moon disk, is a white Hung syllable circled by the 100-syllable mantra. And then from this, the light rays stream out to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, gathering their compassion, their blessings, and then that light returns and dissolves into the Hung and the mantra and causes the mantra that then generate the nectar, which then flows down through filling Vajrasattva's body, and then entering into your crown, and filling your body and pushing out all of the defilements and obscurations, as we usually visualize when we practice Vajrasattva, in the form of kind of like a goopy black substance that exits the lower doors and through the pores of the skin. And you can think also that like all of the suffering, all of the obscurations, all of the negative karma is pushed out, also taking the form of like bugs and scorpions and snakes and frogs and spiders, and that all of this represents, the all of the accumulated defilements and negativities that are exiting your body and being, and becoming, you're becoming fully purified. And so then you become just completely filled with this radiant nectar and clear, like completely, free of any fault or defilement. And the signs of really purifying these negativities sometimes occur in dreams. Like if you have a dream, for instance, of flying, like flying through the sky, or you have a dream of bathing, these can be signs of purification occurring.
我大家都得多批讲他，都是身体他对着他，确实吧，那个是吧？我多批过去是，他电影多批，那在都是什么公家，他电影多批，但是你把水晶别多批，那在都是不用起下，他在地块的也不明白说说，我们就把它接下来了，我这人就把明天也会没大，是那边往的，我就把明天也会没大，是强烈的话是这种的话天点么呢？我天的，咱就把新的马西亚的水晶别多批。真的你不管的就不多是的，这边你不给我起下的，这一家弄下的，我这起下的了，你不管的就不多是。我真的当前提没几次没个东北多是那的，我说去不多是，东北多这些，东北多是，但前提没几次，讲的话是的，讲的么那有啊，可是我是前提东西没那么大，前提东西没那差不多嘛的，我当天点搞不起我这样呢，这个话是呢，的么呢对吧？的么那有话题呢。对，对，公司这块的，天的，天的，啊，像没那个，他得么呢？对吧？得么呢？天的，我当天旅行呢，我当天旅去过去的，在这里他们做一个的开始啥呢？他啥的哇？天他是那他开始现在这个让说，他不是什么的。的确就是怕从嘛，他说过这个，可呀，写的可能了，然后不是那些的家庭呢，我们楼下那些，这个呀家都是看，我这去呢，真的，这都是什么讲，的确他说东西呢，这都是什么让天呢， 아와트르 차스 무sam다 랑데 니시미 바도 제슨 바도 아와트르 차스 무삼 아와트르 디치고레 정도.
So when we do Vajrasattva, it's always important to have the four powers as part of our practice. And that is what really makes it kind of endows the purification process with power. So that's why they're called the four powers. So first, we have the power of regret, which is really important. That is what causes, is the kind of initial incentive for the purification. When we recognize our errors, we feel regret, we feel a sense of remorse. And so this is the power of regret or remorse. And then there is the power of no, sorry, I missed the first one. I just got them mixed up. The power of support is the first one. So the power of support is Vajrasattva. So in this case, we're relying on Vajrasattva as the method to purify our obscurations, our negativities. And then the second one is the power of regret. And he said regret is very important because if there's not a real sense of remorse, then it doesn't, there's no kind of action of purification occurring. So there has to be the element of remorse. And then third is the power of the antidote. So the power of the antidote is the virtue that we're practicing to kind of counteract the negativity. And in this case, it's the 100-syllable mantra. It's reciting the 100-syllable mantra and meditating in this way on Vajrasattva. And then the fourth is the power of resolve. So again, this is also very important. If we don't have resolve, then actually, he said, Chagme Raga in his aspiration prayer to be reborn in Dewa Chen states that if there's not the component of resolve, like resolution, that okay, going forward I'm not going to repeat the same errors, then there isn't, like, purification can occur. So that's also really important, is to have a strong sense of resolve. So those are the four powers, and when those four powers are complete, then there's very effective and very powerful purification that can occur. So we recite the 100-syllable mantra as much as we can, visualizing in this way. And then when we've been fully filled with the nectar, all of the defilements and obscurations have been pushed out, and then we become completely clear like a crystal, and our body is just filled to the brim with this radiant milky nectar. And then Vajrasattva says to us, he confirms that our obscurations have been purified. As he says from his own lips, he says your defilements and obscurations have been purified. Yeah, yeah. So also Milarepa says that when we turn our mind to virtue, like in the midst of, say, affliction, and then we turn our mind to virtue, that virtue serves to purify the negativity. So when we turn to virtue, that purification happens. And likewise, it is said, it is famously said that there's no, what is it? There's no qualities, or there's no, I mean, what we'd say in English is there's no redeeming virtue to negativity, but there's one redeeming virtue, and that is when negativity is purified, then it becomes, that's the quality that negativity has, is that it can in fact be purified.
等等，咱俺啷做的了，我学长可惜的，学长就是吧，就那马送对的，他才是朝鲜的对吧？朝鲜见的呀，朝鲜的吧？他真的，他送考为是，送考了，你们光有让俺说，干啥对吧？我提为是，他让人都见那叫嘛？是光不说的是，他开始那对他光不让光不吧？个在写的把写起吃下了，其实能谁有吧？对，开始是呢，对这他呗，对这有的是其实能谁，前面跟过嘛，这么忙过的嘞，现在呢，可是让这么过都了吧，这忙过吧，但是这些我啥上过的是，对呢，这让这光的，这让那叫嘛这边，这都给上我我这样说呢，这都是那叫嘛，这个就那嘛，就被那嘛。个就那么上届强调是把产品对应能把这样长松上得了多，我听着这个的是。
So then we have the field of accumulation. So it's like that means, all of the kind of deities who are invited to abide in the space in front. So when we first it says, as my own nature vividly appears as Vajrayogini. So we have, remember, the sphere of protection. So within the sphere of protection, in the center of the sphere of protection, we arise ourselves as Vajrayogini, very radiant and kind of transparent, like a crystal. So with this transparency or clarity from the inside and from the outside, and the benefit of that is that represents the complete being immaculate in nature, completely free of stain, the purification of all defilements. And then from our light rays, so from our heart, so we're appearing as Vajrayogini like this, and then from our heart, light rays stream out and invite all of the objects of refuge together, with all of the Kagyu lamas and so forth, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that come and gather in front of us in the space before us or in the sky.
真的到吧，去刚刚去在前年是刚刚去的，但是你对吧，全部在那的，这样说，他提前那路说，一几年下了，那么我去个这些事了吧，我在那也提下都这件，下了都件都把这么了吧，真的海陆隔壁包包去是，海陆隔壁包包去是，那他海陆隔壁的包包全部的是吧？让就多呢，他的有是多他的。都那把差的是吧？还有个陪保护些，那么大都这往球了，多那把差的了，那么大都这往球是。那破完没办，破完要没了，破就是没办。得钱多少？我这一些我都去，对吧？全部多少？一些我都去的嘞，我去吧。我真的是把的希望他们去往球他们把球的，对，他也还有个，他也是也还有个有了。真的上面啥话没办，球可以赢了，他没去。他们把人了，他们把这吃法等这套是没吧，没好吧，没吧的呢。这套吃法那把在东北村的去的，这都是怕我的意思，这这吃法是那么，他自己当这吃法是那身边的别这玩意儿，我的吃法的了，最多年的我们都是那叫嘛的意思，都是怕我的了，都是那多，
So then we have praise. So what comes next? So we have the field of accumulation in the space before us, and then we're reciting praise. So with it says praising the Lama, the Heruka, Chakra Samvara, the Heruka, and Vajravarahi. So we say Lama with a form like a precious jewel. Through your kindness arises great bliss. So actually, I should make a note. I have since changed this translation. It's just like a kind of minor error, which is that maybe it's not minor. He says it's okay, but I feel like I should say it's not that the Lama arises in a single instant, it's that the bliss arises in a single instant. So it's, through the Lama's kindness that we can instantaneously give rise to. And he said what this is referring to is the recognition, the great bliss of the true nature of awareness that shines forth instantaneously through the blessings of the Lama. And then then it says, Vajra holder at your feet, I bow, great heroic splendors, Heruka. So as appearing as, the embodiment of the Heruka, the Vajra being the Vajra holder, that he is the nature of a complete purity, as is also referring to the true essence of awareness, the indestructible nature, that the Vajra nature, which is without transition or change, the like full actuality or recognition of primordial awareness, which is itself the nature of great bliss. And then so that's utterly pure, almighty Vajra. And to you, Vajra Varahi, so then also Vajra Varahi, all yearning great, of all yearning great passions, I bow down. So here, the Vajravarahi being the essence of great yearning or passion is referring to her love for all sentient beings.
tene 다들이 가다. tene 랑니게 상원이. 다 초대 상원이 정월때 한번 초배 한번 좀 좋은 거 봐. 어제 전에 초배 한번 좀. 근데 원 등아 아직도 세나탄 거 치러와. 살와선 탐치러와. 다다 다탄 가다세나 되게 예과로와. 사바레 바르세나 포르탄지 봐. 포르탄지 바로와. 어떤 코어상지 봐. 다 지기 봐. 코어상지 봐. 담지라데 아르강 바데 부베노와. 그래서 상면 쳐봐. 시스. 뭐다데 잔듯이 자고 말아서 바딩 샵다 바딩 자세. 바딩 자세 소소 시스 소소 쳐봐데 소소 시스다. 저 통다 바딩 자세로와.
Pratija.
어 아르강 바딩 부베 알로간 근데 샵다 바딩 자소 하세도. 자 어때? 소소데 다 받으셔야 되나 이게 당 자 보통 만들었는 거 저 같이 람보게 같이 가서 호기 로안도 하냐 다 이렇게 살이 근데 소하세는데 제가 하는데 일단 저 봐도 야고 드롭네 저 현장을 쏘게 돼 템포랑 차 그것이 쏘잖아 뭐 들으나 어제 통다 거기서 살이 근데 다른 다 말로 좀 되게 들이 다 들이도 그래 어떤 동안 근데 랑키니케 상원아 어제 좋네 demjo na ta kan ro shi ra kan ro shi kan ro la ma tum che su che ma shi la go wa pa mo la ta kan ro shi chin na ji ba re wa te lu te so sha nga de singa kan de to ba to ne na te ne yang de so jen kla ta so ba pu so on sam ra wa te ne te ga de ta nga zo de lu shi wa de lu ya xin chou wa te 我觉得他知道这多次的，对，俺这往边子上那俺们边子俺们大神都是俺的，边子俺们大神都是俺去，本在每个神秋别天，那的三木大神讲错，他讲错的牙去从哪了是吧
Samudra Damso.
讲错东西，萨帕大神接盘是吧？这接盘的，我的那什么呀？红色那他谈这给他写谈这的。 시스 왔다. 어떻게 야나 좀太多了过来是
Damsik za.
탐색 왔다. 소르 사스난다. 소르 선지 시사로.
Um, so then we have these offerings. So Sarva is all, Tathagata is all the Buddhas or Tathagatas. Saparivara is Kordang Cheba, or together with your retinues, or kind of like the whole assembly. And then we're offering each of these substances, which we are all familiar with, probably, he said. And so for lack of time, we won't go into them. And then Pratishta, Soha or pratishta. Pratishta ikongda yang.
写所说所写
It
所
means
所写
it means partake of each one individually. So it's like each one is offered. The chupa so
就把它说那的譬如我
yeah.
就把说
So it's like each of the individual, referring to each of the individual offerings and say, kind of then to partake of these or enjoy these. And then Soha is kind of like the conclusion of the mantra. And then we have the inner offering. And so, by the way, I think we've talked about this before, but the small letters underneath are in the wrong place. So they should each go above, like in this way, offer, and then we have the first set of offering, thus reciting offer the nectar. So that actually goes above with Om Pansa Amrita. And then the small letters again below actually are to be pointing to the mantra Om Sarva Tathagata. So the Om Pansa Amrita here, we're offering the inner nectar, the inner offering of the nectar. And so we're visualizing the 4 dakinis, which are the same dakinis when we do have a retinue with Vajravarahi, or the retinue for Chakra Sambhara, which is Dakini, Lama, Rupini, and Kandarohe, right? Kandarohe. And so they are making the offering of the nectar so we have first Pansa, Om Pansa Amrita, which is the Amrita, and then 5, Pansa is 5, so like the 5 nectars, the 5 meats, Pudza Mega is Pudza Mega
就听就被定着
is like the clouds. So all of the amassing clouds of this nectar offering of the 5 meats and the 5 nectars. And Saparana.
这样说的吧
Saparana is ocean, also meaning an ocean,
啊
oceans
三
of
明治
clouds.
讲说三明治讲
Oh
说
no, Samudra
Yeah.
is ocean, so oceans of offering clouds.
对呢撒巴的是接盘了
And Saparana is like multiplying, sort of making them vast. So there are these this vast ocean of offering clouds that's kind of endlessly multiplying. And Samaye Hung means, partake, eat the Samaya, essentially.
我对呢他的秋贝那么多是吧 首先给咱他的dem cho ya me tem dem cho ya me 是吧
And so then, so the
安个的是嘛啦呢有准备切帮头 Yeah, yeah.
test supplement today.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
didn't the chupe lama the social line?
首先给他做他dem cho ya me 是吧我这说 tem 呢这dem cho ya me 用把手背대통사과미 봐. 대통 대화의 동바 사과미 봐. 요라. 사미스는 다 녀모미 봐. 사미스는 녀모미 봐. 어디 초바치 이 송삼 초베 되게 될 때는 초바도 니보치 송삼네. 아 들어봐. 상해 초바. 상해 초바데 다 엄서바다 당가다. 들어봐. 엄서바다 당 엄틀고치. 서바다 당가다 다 되게 이거 참지 임바. 안으란 가세나. 제스 샤바지. 반잘 수바바세나. 반잘 도르제랑지 잖아. 수바바데 도르제랑지 잖아. 싶어봐. 에마고 항상 나다 나와 정신에 왔다 들으시 거래스다 성에 쳐봐시 어때네 테코나니 쳐봐도 다 테코나니데 셈지 맞춰봐 뭐 나오디스 어때네 냠자라디 시라시나 어때 테코나니 쳐봐도 잘해서 된 쳐봐시래봐
So then so we visualize that the dakinis, then we still have this field of accumulation in front, and the deity at the center of the field of accumulation, Chakra Sambhara. So the dakinis dissolve into Chakra Sambhara. Chakra Sambhara and Varahi are in union, and through the great bliss of their union, which is the undefiled essence, like pristine essence of
primordial awareness, so undefiled, being completely transcendent of like ordinary afflictive emotions. And so this then becomes the secret offering, which is what is indicated here by this next mantra, Om Sarva Tathagata Anuragana Vajrayogini Drupchö Atma Kohang. And so Om Sarva again is all, Tathagata is all of the Buddhas,
Anuranga,
Anuragana
Shaba.
is great passion. So again, this is referring to that passion as passion for all sentient beings, a passionate love for all sentient beings. Vajra, of course, is Vajra, and then Swabhava. So the nature, this is referring to the Vajra nature. So it is I am, again, like Swabhava Atma Kohang is I am that Vajra nature of great passion. And so this is referring to also, of course, dwelling within the union of bliss and emptiness, the indivisible union of bliss and emptiness, which is suchness, or the ultimate nature, the true nature of awareness. And so this is the secret offering. This becomes the secret offering. And so then you rest for a bit in meditative absorption you rest in the meditative absorption of suchness. So here actually we have the 4 levels of offering complete, because we have first the outer offerings, which is with Argam, Padyam, etc. And then we have the inner offering of the nectar, Om Pancha Amrita, etc. And then we have the secret offering of union, Om Sarva Tathagata, etc., Anuragana. And then when the true nature of awareness shines forth, or when we rest, if we're able to then rest in the true nature of awareness, then that becomes the offering of suchness. So here then we have the 5 branches. So in this case, there are the 5 branches. So first, we have going for refuge, confessing negativities, rejoicing in the virtues of beings, and giving rise to the mind of awakening. So that's 5, right? And then, and so whenever we do these branches, whether the so we're both purifying our obscurations and gathering accumulations, and this is also, it's significant that this happens when we have the field of accumulation in front. So we've generated the field of accumulation, the visualization, the objects of refuge, and in the space in front. And then we're going through the 5 branches, which become the method for gathering accumulations, which then allows the generation stage. It brings stability. It helps to bring stability to the generation stage. It then makes it easier to really sustain the practice, or to have clear visualization during the practice. because we've accumulated the merit.
Then that the malo song the valley that it that soon depth in the one. What that's on that tang as that the Jillian and the Zolan and the Karin and the Zura Namazuan the Sanga Lusu. What you are what in the Lama Zura, nothing as a child symbol in a Topatia. They like this, the Jillian at the night Gumiala. This drop to ya, they like this, Namichin Lapshuna. Or Takwa to Gambo Beson or Nazu Jibandela, Lamichin Mayuna, child symbol to Marais.
Naro sungsumi.
Gamboba.
Gamboba.
Tene tata so jigen song ge de gong che na to kwa jie ta mo gu ku na yi song yo ro. Wo tian du de dang zi xie qin bo da cha de yo sa de ne ju be la ma zi su ban de bia. Wo de ju be la ma zi su ba da ne ne da jie ren zo ren den bo to shuo sam su su sam no de da ne. Wo de ne jie ren zo ren den bo to ne sin jian tam ji de pian to shuo sam. De ju sam lo da. De dong de huo san.
So then we have the supplication to the lamas. So this supplication, again, this is a means to, generate a pure mind of devotion. And as is always said, the way, to really receive the blessings to whether in the context of generation stage, secret mantra, or Mahamudra, to realize Mahamudra, this occurs primarily through devotion. As Gampopa has said, without real devotion, there's no kind of access to the blessings. Likewise, Lord Jigten Sungön says in the Gongchik that the only way to actually give rise to authentic realization, the only method is through devotion. So here we're supplicating the lineage lamas, cultivating a pure heart of devotion, and we can sort of add within that a specific supplication that our generation stage and completion stage practice may become stable, that they, we're essentially asking the lineage lamas to help us have stability in our practice so that then we may be better equipped to benefit beings.
Tene tata di jiu di de do har chi men tong jiu me po zhang qiu qiu zong ma nam so la zhe wan de la duo. Tene de ju be na ma nam qin ha qi de qiu qiu zong ma de zo jie ga ru har jin da qiu ma pa si tu ya. Tene zong bu dang wo shu sa ri. Ji dang ho su su nian nan ta ke ni mi qin na da qiu qiu zong ma de zo qin ha qi har ji si tu ge ro. So so kai ji ni mi nian nan qin nian yi na. Tene qiu qiu zong ma de zo si si ge ro. Mi ma da de nge dam ju ti yo yo da zhe jin xi ge ji gong. Ma la re ba la chi xiu re se. De ma la re ba la chi xiu de de ne gong bo da hua xie si xiu re se. Gong bo da hua zhe yong xiu sa ba da zhe mei qiu xi dan na ba yang de gong bo yong xiu sa re. Ma la re ba da ha yin be sun xiu da huan de sun bo qiang lo sa. Da hua xin na le a de.
Gompo.
Gong bo. Ha yin zhe la re se. Ju pa no zhe xiu yo sa ra. Qiu de ta le ma yong be sun bo do se. Nga nian na xi ya yo mo do xiang. Gong bo nga qiu zhong yin la re se. Jiu nga ngi ma zha ta su do ma qu. Zha ke ma na la ri ba nyong ba ma bu qiong lo ha. Wa zha ta su do ma qu. Ga ngi ma bu zhi yong qiu qiu zhong re tong ya ma do se. De ta ren ke ta guo ya ma do se la lo. De gong bo la re se. Ngi ma ha re xiu no. Ngi ma qiu no qiu ba ma re se. Qiu ba ma re se. Qiu ba men de nga pu sa ma do se. Ta ta na qiu ba re se. Qiu ba yin de qiu rang ma to ta nga pu sa ma do se. De la re se de ma la re de 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 mo re se. La re se ten zhong de. So so da ke ni mi yang na qi de de qiu zhong ma ra yin ko rong zhe de ba. Ma la re ba ngi ma a ku an de de zong tu jia de qi de de qiu zhong ma ku ri ga le ga bo sa ro.
So when we, here as we supplicate, we say, all of, these supplications to the lineage gurus, and then it says, pacify in all directions negativity. And so this is also referring to, the pacification or the clearing away of obstacles, which really comes through the power of devotion and single-pointed concentration and practice. So if we really are practicing, with real sincerity, then it really can have the effect of dispelling obstacles. Just naturally, obstacles can be dispelled. So for instance, Lapchi, when Milarepa was in Lapchi, meditating in Lapchi, and Mahakala kept appearing to him. And actually, Milarepa got kind of annoyed by him. He was like, why do you keep showing up here? I don't need you, right? Like, I have no need, right? Like, you and he was, he did, Gompo or Milarepa? Yeah, so he was actually kind of whacking Mahakala with a stick, and sort of like, go on, disappear, go away, because he said, if you had shown up, if you had, like, now I don't need you. Before, maybe when I was, had all these enemies. Oh, so he didn't recognize him at first. He said, and Mahakala said, I'm a Dharma protector. So before he had said, he was appearing, and he said, I don't have any need for you now. Before, when I had all these enemies, or I had, these obstacles, like, I could have used your help, then, but now I have no need for you. And so he said, well, and Mahakala said, well, before you weren't a Dharma practitioner, you weren't so like I don't gather around those who aren't pure Dharma practitioners. But if there are pure Dharma practitioners, then naturally, the Dharma protectors gather. So they become like a retinue, and they clear away obstacles.
그래, 단들이 마송들 때는 재미 있었던데 와. 쇼당 저런 알아.
So then the next section are the reflections on the four immeasurables. So the field of accumulation then dissolves into us, and then we have the four immeasurables.
다 재미 있었대. 지당당라도 참 이제 참바다 이제 가와 당용 답으로. 다 저소 때는 소 뒤나 삼삼한테 소 뒤도 뒤나 참 이제 분들도 레스 신이시여라. 다른 소 뒤나 이제 들도 살 때 이제 지고. 다들 같은 재미 있었대. 지당라도 장쇼 심제야. 저도 편도여로. 저는 뒤에는 다 참바 재미 있어. 지금서 못 써서도 참바接触 통나 제스. 5年级就那么上面在前半的让其世界过来是，我在那一代生前他妈结过来是。
So gongda de jamba pen simchen tamje.
但是他前半接触通了，接触先5年级我就有那5年级我就我们上面在先弄出来就有来是，我在那一生前他妈他在完了结过来是，这是人间在么通了结是，人间在么通结是的。但这里家的人么就刚嘛拉回气的嘞，嘛都家的，什么什么让人家学结过来是。我这怎么当呢？这身边谈起了，这在哪几个年纪结过的是，看从科别东啊那时候身边什么刚也有上的，我这就看这年纪结过来是，高万年堂吃呢，这是高万年堂吃这些呢，超过甚至他有人不码头呢。所以出完了，这有的是没事，这话先把我的找不中人了。我这出完在哪里？这身边上马这这话的，过来是。当年你的罢了，又是当年你把控制的的，这恰当多把子这个按照说啥了吧？我在哪里的身边上马用把是过来是。我当几个钟头中多咋把就开了是吧？前把前面前把这个上了没行动了有啊？前把这哪里？我或者。拉松那我做不的这话情况有的是我，我这话情况拉松说这你对别人是搞个的噻，我但再把这在哪里的是，他妈的前把，妈的前把他妈的，我他前把前目起不做吧，那前把恰的做工啊，是妈的他怕是不是别去个的是可能不接了哇， 되네. ngao te te wa ta 닝게 te te zemo 닝게 말라도 그 추고 봐. 말라가 매 줘서 요나. 북제 추 지켜 좀 닝게 소라 거 말했는데 내지 라파요 말와 건. 들린다고 나 제레스. te gawan te ngao nge 도 그랬어. te ngao te 북제. 라소나. te 제마제 라나 배 가게레스. 심장 힘발이. ngao 세와 제레스. 되는当年我们在长松很中级班的，长松中级班现在这里也是，但我是就农队在送满帮中站接给了啊，不了，但长松很中的级班现在，但我让出就在送的，但是现在这些就动呢，就动队这里送满金巴当个了，我这旁边没把送满当个了，我在哪去在当中，可中，那得去选对的。
So these four immeasurables, of the four immeasurables, love, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. So when we subdue these, they really all four can be subsumed into the two of love and compassion, and then further they can be subsumed into compassion, because compassion, love and compassion in particular, becomes the kind of the fuel for generating bodhicitta. It's what then leads to the generation of bodhicitta. And Jigten Sumgön describes, what these qualities of heart are, how they feel. So for instance, he says love is like the feeling that you get when you see a really pure, adorable little child. So when you have that feeling towards all sentient beings, like the feeling of seeing a small child, kind of the affection, the pure affection that you feel towards a young child. And compassion is the feeling that you get where there's that pull in the heart. It's seeing something really a real sign of suffering and pain, like somebody who has leprosy. So it's like the feeling of witnessing somebody who has leprosy, with their digits rotting and falling off, and just a really kind of difficult illness. When you witness that feeling that arises is that of compassion. And so then that's the feeling of compassion. And immeasurable compassion, of course, is directed toward all sentient beings equally. And then joy is the feeling of like the feeling of two lovers meeting after having been apart for a long time. So when two lovers see each other after having been separated for a long time, there's a really joyful feeling. And this is the feeling of sympathetic joy when you witness the happiness of others, that kind of euphoria of like meeting a lover, a long lost lover. And then equanimity is the mind that is really even. There's not attachment towards some or aversion towards others. It's like the equal regard for sentient beings, the equal loving regard for all beings equally. And then Zapato Rinpoche. Oh, that's all. Right. Thank you. I love that he catches all the details like this. That's kind of amazing. So then Lord Jigten Sungen likens this feeling to the feeling when we're fading into sleep. We're just on the verge of falling asleep, and we're kind of in a state that's pretty neutral. That's this kind of even state of that state just falling into sleep. And then Zapatra Rinpoche, in the words of my perfect teacher, also describes what these four immeasurables feel like, giving these examples. So he says that love is like the way that a mother bird looks after and cares for her delicate eggs. So when she's, what do we call it? when they're, isn't there a word for it? But anyway, when she's sitting on her eggs, when she's looking after her eggs before they hatch or tending to her eggs, with that kind of delicate and uh, like really concerned and genuine care, taking care. And then the compassion, he says, is like the is like a camel who has
Mare.
lost. No, oh, sorry, that's the third
Ma
one.
ama lapa
Yeah,
mejo
yeah,
se
yeah.
ma puk chu
Sorry.
kona te nying je gres.
Sorry. Yeah, there was some confusion about which one that was for. So then the compassion is like a mother who doesn't have any arms, whose child has fallen into a river, and is being swept away by the river. That's like the feeling of compassion. And then the camel is the feeling of joy, empathetic joy. So or sympathetic joy when a camel, so camels are very attached to their young, and so there's incredible pain or sort of grieving if a mother loses their child, a mother camel loses their baby. And so the feeling of a camel, a mother camel meeting her baby camel again, is the feeling of joy. And then the equanimity is like chud, like the practice of chud, when we sort of equally regard, without any sort of attachment or aversion, just a kind of even mind that can just give away the different, parts of our body, and equally to all beings, without concepts of some being high and some being low and some being better and some being worse, but sort of giving to all equally.
Well, that's interesting.
So we can conclude the teachings for today here.
That's it.
Om Sarva Buddha so
Sarva
From the bomb light radiates and the outer world and contents melt to light, which is absorbed into my body. My dissolve from the bottom and top into light, which dissolves into bomb. The body of the bomb then dissolves into its head and its crescent moon, then into the tigle and nada, which becomes luminous emptiness.
La yang ran ni ju ma da bu gu xie jie cha ni nian ju ru ma ru xie. 第一句头的东上。
Once again, clearly with one face and the two arms in the illusion-like form of Vajrayogini, I arise.
我们看到如黑风别，我们所。 我觉得萨瓦达玛斯巴瓦学多瓦，东北岸里农美土基地，前天边的几个那么那，俺们没来学马里的在啊。 那个个的理想颜色，龙有没把它在那学辛苦，这son无解的些的结果，他也没的在家所求，偏。 感觉那么也当了，觉得些当前不了解去嘛，都见年就是所这样之错，人俺看着马驴见长久，我们他。 都是我对不起。阿嗡巴佛巴藏扎克那萨玛呀萨当夏呀佛嗡班扎阿拉勒嗡扎嗡巴佛巴藏扎克那萨阿当的夏呀佛。 我们在阿拉的pom在巴佛班在这个那萨玛呀萨当这下呀佛中那家我都接不过也，都在长的所。 Om Guru Deva Sarvam Buddhanja Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kaka Kai Kai Om Guru Sava Sarvam Buddhanja Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kaka Kai Kai Om Guru Deva Sarvam Buddhanja Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kaka Kai Kai Om Guru Datangata Sabare Vare Argan Bade Purve Duve Aloken Gande Nevede Nam to ma le jung ju shen tu jie chen bo nam ba ro sem jen gun je tong ze ba ban den dur je pa mon du page 34. Om Yere Banzara Samaya Manu Balaya Banzara Heru Gadino Adi Chandra Do Meba Va Sudo Kayo Meba Anura Do Meba Sudo Kayo Meba Sarva Siddhi Mebara Yeza Sarva Karma Sudzame Zedam Yang Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Banga Banza Heruga Amunze Heruga Wawana Maya Sadhu Ahum Pi Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Yoga Shuddha page 35. 30, yeah. Last, Yeshe Bana Rani La Tianba Sho Wang page 43. Om Banza Vara He Argan Ba Den Bube Dube Aloge Gande Nevede Shabbat.
Last page. Oh, okay, the last page that doesn't have.
To be a general pancho, let's be a general gombo, Russia, Kawajan, the Yamin, Jumba, Jikin, some Jim, Gombo, Sorwande, can't get them back, Garjara, you do them, Tizi, Jiva. Su Tien Zien Tie Jie Du De Pe Xin Dong Sum Shu Shu Ju An Zhuo Gu De Jie Be La Ju Ju Jie Ya An Qi Qiu Ca Jie.
In the presence of the Buddha, you were the noble Lichavi on the glorious mountain, the protector Nagarjuna, and here in the land of snows, the incomparable Lord Dagungba. To Lord Jigten Sungun, I pray, may your teachings remain firm for 100 eons. May the life and activities of those who uphold them flourish. May the monastic community grow and strive in the practice of the 3 vows. May all beings enjoy happiness and prosperity.
哦呀，那真上去，真的，真的就是你把那哇，吃饭往当的，真的蛮多，上你吃饭没？上你那是错东，然后咱把它东，对说对着个哇，把他们这东。
So then we'll reconvene at 2 p.m. Chicago time, and then we'll have question and answer this afternoon, but we won't have question and answer tomorrow because tomorrow is the last day and we'll have a more elaborate sok and then also lots of prayers to recite. So today will be the last day for questions.